Every photo tells a story. Every video captures a moment in time. But behind every powerful image, behind every cinematic shot, there is a creator. Someone who decided to pick up a camera. Someone who chose to see the world differently. Not just as it is, but as it could be captured. As creators, we don't just press record. We tell stories. We preserve memories. We create impact. But the journey of a creator is not always easy. It requires patience. It requires learning. It requires growth. And most importantly, it requires passion. This space is for creators who want to grow, for videographers who want to improve their craft, for photographers who want to see the world through a deeper lens. So whether you are just starting, or you have been creating for years, you are welcome here. Let's learn. Let's create. Let's grow together.
Every photo tells a story.
Welcome to our creative life this evening. Kindly check with me if the sound is coming, if you can hear me. Those on TikTok, is your sound okay? And then those on YouTube, can you also hear me? Okay, so one of the biggest problem in the photography and video industry is payment. Okay, some people will say that they are underpaid. Studio owners and freelance also charge too much. So the real question is, what is actually fair? Now today I'll be talking about it, and I want it to be more of a conversation between us. I will try and see if it's possible to also bring some of us in, especially those of you who own the business. I'll also be hearing from those of you who are freelance, and then those of you who are also just employees in our establishment. Let's bring all our opinion together, and from here I will start having a conversation about it and see how best we can make a lot of things work for all of us. Now, when I started my photography business, I started with someone, that's Bernard. And we started, I think I bought the camera with my national service money they gave me. I was saving. It's good to save. So I was able to save enough. I bought a camera. I can't even remember. Is this 700D or one of, no, it's T3. Yes, that camera. It was brand new. It was a really cool camera at the time. And as I move on, I bought about 3 or 4 of them that I was having at the time. Now, the idea between the two of us is to establish a business called Anchor Media, where we will run it like how any other business is running. At the time, what I realized is that I've seen a lot of people doing what we call freelance. A lot of people were doing freelance. I also realized that a lot of photographers, video. The people will say that we should say cinematographers. They were also doing more of hand to mouth. So the money comes. I mean, you receive 500 and you're okay. So I know a lot of them. So when I opened a company, that was the idea. So I went to a different company, not strictly photography, but I was doing a lot. The idea is to learn how things are done. So I learned about petty cash, invoicing, and all of that, so that I'll be able to run it. Now, one of the challenges we face is payment. It was so serious that even paying ourselves was difficult. So I remember the two of us, we had a meeting and we said, no, we can't just be doing this without paying ourselves, or all the money is going to go into equipment and then paying others. There are times we go for a shoot. By the time we finish paying the rest, our money is finished. And it becomes challenging. Even up to now, I'm still struggling to be able to pay myself. Sometimes I have my own money, like from other things I do, not strictly photography or video. I have my own money most of the times. I can have money most of the times, and you see that I will just push it into the business. Because there are times that it's difficult. There are times you have to pay your workers from money that you've borrowed. Okay. Now, one thing about photography and the video business is that you cannot be assured of work coming in every month. There are some months, if you see me running a promo, it means things are hard. And most of the times, a lot of people working with also see these things. They see that, oh, there's no work coming. This time we are not able to. So we have different forms of payment that people have come up with. And one of the major ones I see is the freelance. So what freelance means is that you pick somebody who is a photographer or a video person who will come and shoot for you, and then will give you your videos or your pictures. So what this person is going to do is that the person have no right to the images. What we normally even do is to give you our card. So we will buy a card and give it to you, so that when you finish shooting, you give us the card. And I think I made a statement on this platform, that's TikTok, that I've sent somebody who a whole traditional wedding, the person gave me 12 minutes. It was so serious. I nearly cried. The client noticed, complained bitterly, and I have to refund the full amount. And I don't know what happened. The freelance was giving me an explanation. So I sent one of my guys from the office. My guy wasn't a video person. He's just working in the office as an office assistant. So I sent him to go and make sure the shoot is going on well. Now, the freelance is telling me that he left the camera for him. So why did I pay for you to go for that shoot, and then you've left it in the hands of a guy who doesn't know anything about video? So I got 12 minutes. The other challenge I've also seen so many times is when you are coming back to do your editing, you realize that some files are missing, videos are not recorded. So that is also there. The files are not recorded. We don't know what happened. I have a video right now I'm working on it. I've been chuckling because about more than 30 minutes is missing. And when you check the card, you realize that the person didn't press recording. Luckily for me, I was using my YOLO boss and doing ISO recording. So it recorded that file. And the client specifically wanted all the footages. So I did ISO recording. That saved me. Now I'm deciding to be sending my ISO recording. My YOLO boss, I'll send it and do ISO recording so that I will record all the files. It will save me a lot of time. So yeah, so that is some of the challenges you have. I also explained that some freelance also go to your event and they'll go and say bad things about you. You call them to come and help you, but the attitude and the way they're going to show themselves, you'll be surprised. In front of you, they will give their numbers out. And surprisingly, people defend some of these and say, "Oh, how will you? How will they also be able to get a client?" But you are freelance. You have come to my shoot, so you should be able to be within it. One of the things I decided to do now is that all my freelance guys, I'll be having training for them, so that I tell them that this is what I want, how I want my production done. So I will always be having some source of training from now on, because sometimes it's so serious. But we've also gotten some good freelance guys. Now, a lot of the freelance guys have seen have worked for me, the ones who are very good. I have some very good ones, like they understand, they know you can't use your file anywhere and all of that. But there are some who are extremely good. And these freelance, they are not just freelance, they own their own company. But if you call on them, they will be able to help you. You see, it's just like me owning my company. And if you are a photographer who owns a company, you call me to come and help you. I'll come in, I'll bring my camera to come and help you. You pay me. It's just that sometimes, because we own a company and we have the equipment, when we are coming, we probably will charge a little higher because of the cameras we'll be holding. And surprisingly, I can go shoot for you, do everything with my camera. And I'll even add more things, make sure the shoot go well. And I think all of you know 3D, Danny. So if I want to call Danny to go and do a shoot for me, Danny has been doing that for me in the past years. He's done a lot for me. Now, if I call Danny to go and do a shoot for me, Danny's charges will be higher than any other freelance I have. It can even be double the amount. The reason why I will still go and pick Danny to go and do the shoot is that over time I realized that when I send him on a shoot, the way he interacts with the client, if you are there, you will not know that he's not part of my company. He's into it, conversation, phone numbers. I'll be there. Somebody will call me that they've given a number at this program, and I'll be surprised. The way he interacts with the client. Because he owns his own business, he understands from that point of view. So it's the same way if I go to another place to do a shoot, I will also be able to do that. And I have another freelance guy, Raf. He works with Timeline Creative. I've used a lot of the Timeline Creative guys. One thing I like about them is that when they come to your shoot, when they charge you for freelance, they come to your shoot, they shoot from the beginning to the end. And I don't know how they do it, but you have all your files from beginning to the end. They say they will shoot everything. When you go, you can go and decide what you want to take out. So for him, when he comes to the shoot, he will shoot. He doesn't mind about food. He doesn't mind about any other thing happening. His own is that you've given him camera and he's coming to shoot for you. And one thing I also noticed is that he always requests for our t-shirt. So he will come with the t-shirt and wear the t-shirt during the shoot. Okay. So that is how he has been doing it. And I will go the extra mile to pay him because he has been experienced. He knows what to shoot. When you send him to a program, you know what he's about. So that is for freelance. Then we have a full-time salary, which means that you want maybe studio manager, you want full-time photographer, you want a full-time editor, you want a videographer, who a lot of people will say that cinematographer. And one thing I normally like is that I want my video person to be the one who edits. So even if you come and you don't know how to edit, I'll teach you to edit so that you are the same person doing that. Okay. Then I know some people are also doing commission in terms of the number of gig you bring. So sometimes when people bring, maybe if you are an employee, you bring maybe a wedding, maybe they give you some 10% or 20%. That is also over there. Now, there are people who are purely wedding freelance. They are purely into wedding. There are people who probably bring you gig, you give them a commission and all of that. But it's still a lot. So what I do normally is that I've been doing research. I'll come to questions. I'll also take point from you. If you have other views, put it in the comment section for me. Please, I want to join your team. It's not easy. What can you do? Let me know what you are good at. So sometimes percentage payment, okay, is very important. The person who asks the question, you wait when I get to the question side, you can bring it in. So I think last year I did a video on how you can determine how much you charge for your studio, your shoot, and everything. And I mentioned that you have to do a budget for the whole year. Now, when you are doing your budget, you must consider all the people working in your office. Okay, it's very important. You must consider all the people working in your office, your equipment you want to buy this year, and all of that. That will let you do calculations. So I do that every year. There's somebody who was doing it for me. That's how I determine how much to pay for my shoot. Sometimes it doesn't go well. I mean, there are some years that you have an issue. I remember one particular year, I couldn't pay rent. I couldn't pay my studio rent. I tried everything, I couldn't. Luckily, what I normally do is that I buy a lot of equipment. So I have more cameras, and so I invest my money back into equipment. So what I did was to buy cameras. So when it happened like that, I sold, I think, 2 of my cameras to be able to pay rent. So you can just imagine how much probably I'm paying. My Achimota place should right now be around 4K. My Adenta place should be around 8K, around that figure. So just imagine you need more than 100,000 to be able to run this place. Then salary is also going to come in, data, water, electricity, a whole lot of things. And if you are a photographer who do a lot of uploading, you understand when I talk about data. I use a lot of data. I'm having Starlink, which is not working now. I have MTN broadband. I was using Vodafone. They were also not. Now Vodafone is TLSL, right? Now what am I using? I'm using MTN fiber and then the MTN TurboNet, which mostly I use for my live streaming. So I've done a lot of research into this. Okay. Now it's difficult to explain to a lot of people working for you that, hey, you are working with a budget, and so this is the amount you have to pay. For example, if you promise to pay somebody 2,000 or let's say 2,500, it's expected that after a year you have to review it and then increase the amount. Now, when I have done my research on around these things, I realized that total salaries for including you should not including you, excluding you, total salary including everybody should not exceed 30 to 40%. So within 30 to 40%, you can pick money from there. So if at the end of the month you've made 30,000, 12,000 is going to be for those payments. Okay. Now, if it's 12,000, how much is left? Okay. So that is like 18K. And you are going to pay your rent. If your rent a month, how much are you paying for rent? Depending on your location in Accra. So you have to calculate all of this. And when you have some few profits before you can even calculate your own payment as the owner, because you have to do the sacrifice. You probably have to go into borrow money if things are not going well. But it's not everybody that can be paid the same amount. Some people are experienced, some people have been there for some time. So you have to consider some of those things. Now, if any of you here own your own photography business, and to be honest with me, it is not easy to pay salary. It's not easy to pay salary. Some of you who even started just maybe last year, 2 years ago, paying somebody 1,000 Ghana cedis is not that easy. Your head will ache you. You see? And people will say that, oh, pay the people good so that they will not leave you. I've seen it. So that's why I'm very careful treating this topic all the time. Will your workers understand how much you are charging? There was this guy who was with me, and then there's this other guy who was starting to start. So he charged some amount to be able to know. He just started. So, and then this guy would say, like, oh, this guy is undercharging. Why is he charging that amount? Now, when he started, it was worse. He couldn't, because this guy was just trying to survive. I understand that we have to take this work seriously, and the value we place on it should be paid for. But there are times the client, when you mention an amount, is not that easy. Like, I have some big clients. If you mention an amount and they are bargaining, you'll be surprised. Like KPMG call you right now, they want live streaming. When you say 5,000, you wonder why they are complaining about that amount. So the burden is now mostly on you, the person who is the owner of the company, to get your own clients. Because from observations, your workers won't struggle to go and get your client to work with. No, it is your name, your brand that will have to get clients. Okay. So it's difficult to explain some of these things, because when you explain, nobody will understand. The only issue will be that, oh, you have money. If you come to my place, it's like, I have money, I have money. For me, they have invested into studio cameras and all of that. Yeah, that's where my money goes. Okay. There are times you also go to events. By the time you finish paying your freelance, when you do the actual calculation, you start crying. I did one recently, and with the number of people I've sent for production, when I did the calculation, I didn't even pay that huge amount. And my equipment, to most of the cameras are even mine. And the switcher I was even using was given to me for free. So you can just imagine. Now, sometimes I am within a certain price. So, for example, if you see my website, two cameras live streaming is around 3,500. This amount, if you mention it to somebody, they will shout. It's only a few companies that, most of the corporate that is going to do it. But individually, wedding and all of that is sometimes a struggle. So sometimes I even don't want to even do weddings. At the point I wanted to just forget about wedding, because it comes with a lot of pressure. When you go, it's not just about this. You are chasing, like, people who are paying money. You are chasing them to take pictures. So it's a whole lot of work. Okay, so it's very important. But it's also good that we consider those who work for us and come up with a nice term for them. Now, one thing I believe in is that if I come to you to work for you and we agree on an amount, I will put in my whole energy, because that is what we agree on, and I've decided to work for you for that amount. And if I have an issue with the amount, I will kindly come to you and make a request. If you explain to me why you can't give me a raise, I understand. If I don't understand, I will let you know. Then I can move on. Okay. So you must understand that. If you are a photographer, a video guy here, sometimes put yourself in your boss's shoe and see. It's not that easy. Okay. So if you genuinely think, oh, you've made improvement, you want a raise in pay, go to your boss, let them know, renegotiate. Give them the reason why you want to be paid this amount of money. Now, what I started doing last year was so I have a big salary that I'm paying. So that big salary covers a lot of the work. Then when we have any major event, I will give you an extra money. So I'll probably give you 100 cedis on it. So if you have 10 shoots in a month or 15, then you are getting around 1,500. And when we travel outside Accra, I may increase it. Okay. There are times maybe a fellow video person is looking for somebody to do video. I will send you to go and shoot. I don't even normally ask for the money. When I was at Achimota, there is this guy who is not a photographer but gets a client. I give it to one of my workers to be taking the shoot. Up to now, I don't even know how much the guy pays him because I told him they should charge the guy. The guy only pay for the studio, but he should charge the guy, take the picture and edit it. So I don't know how much. And sometimes when I probably send you on a shoot, for example, I send you to somebody's show, I may not even ask how much you are taking from the person. I will just, but sometimes these things come back to bite you. It bites you in a way that your workers tend to think that, oh, there's money in freelance and all of that, so they'll, that kind of thing. I've experienced that and I'm still experiencing it. So that's why the last time I posted about video person and photographer, it's extremely difficult for me personally to be able to employ people. Extremely difficult. Because you see, I am good at what I do. I'm very good. I know what I want. So sometimes when people come, you interview them. I have had people work for me, you employ them, and then you realize that the skill you are looking for, people, like, everybody lies about their skills. And one other thing that is difficult is whenever I made an announcement for looking for, let's say, a video editor, a photographer, you see a lot of people writing, oh, I'm available. But if you are available, how do I know if you are good? I mean, somebody can just take camera and do crack and tell you that I'm a photographer. So I'm very particular about that. What have you done? Now, you see the agency, mostly they will call you to come and shoot, and then they will cheat you with this corporate event and all of that. I do my own proposal. So I write my own proposal and bid for a lot of the work. And one of the things that they always require from you, apart from the deliverables, is to write a proposal, and then in the proposal, you have to include your team, your CV, and then you have to include your work. Now, when I'm going to include my work, I always make sure I include my best work. I have a lot of work as a company. So I will go through it, give detailed explanation, my role in that production. Am I the creative director? Am I the one who edit it? Because sometimes some of the things we present, you are not the only one who have worked on it. Okay, so I will make that available. Okay, I'll make that available. So I'm expecting that if I ask you for your portfolio, you should give me your best work. Okay. Some of you will send me videos from, like, your church. I'm not interested in, like, the reels you are doing for church. How do I know if you are even the one who do it? I want to see work that you have done, your best work. And when it comes to video editing, I'm very particular about the storyline, how you are able to tell the story. Okay, how you're able to tell the story, your transition. I'm not the type who likes this dramatic transition. A simple cut will do for me. I don't really like dissolve, like simple cuts. But I'm not also the fan those tests, no, I'm not a fan. But if I watch the video, it should tell a story. It should tell me that this and this. It should, I don't know how to explain it. If I watch the video, I should be able to tell a story, okay? And that's what I'll be looking out for. If you are a photographer, I'll see if you've done studio shoot, if you've done event shoot, I'll compare all of that, okay? So normally take me like somebody who knows the work and is doing. I always say that, so visual storytelling, yes. I always say that if it's not because I know how to do so many things, I'll be out of this business a long time, because there are times I even give up, right? Because you can't also do everything. Right now, as I'm here, I have a video I want to work on. And if I'm going to work on it, I can just use a very short time to do it because of my experience on some of these things. I know shortcuts. Recently the Chinese program I edited, how I started, that video in particular, I use a template from CapCut. Then I just spent time, 1 hour cutting the videos. Because I was at the program, I know what I want to cut. So, and because I was doing trailer, I was paying attention to gimbal, drone, and then wide shot. So I didn't use all the cameras. I just cut what I want from it, put it in, and then send it. So I export all of them individually. And there's a way you export all of them at once. Then it becomes one individual videos. Then I use a template in CapCut to load them, then bring them back, and then rearrange to tell a story, to the end. So visual storytelling is very important. That's what you have to do. I have deviated from the main topic. Okay. So as I mentioned, one way I also try to do and to make people feel comfortable is to do the some allowance and all of that. One other thing probably I've offered for a lot of people, and these days I don't know if I'm sure I will want to do, is to provide accommodation. Now your salary, accommodation is going to take greater part of it. Okay. And the way our work is, sometimes you just be there, you get impromptu. So I decided to probably offer sometimes accommodation where you can actually sleep, to the extent that sometimes I offer food. So not the entire food. I may buy you a bag of rice. Whatever you do with the rice is for yourself. It's not for me. So I may try to provide something just to make you comfortable. Because I believe that accommodation and food is one of the major, accommodation, food, and transportation. Now, once I give you accommodation, it takes care of your transportation. And then food, probably, if you have rice, at least you can cook, right? So I try my best to probably do this to take off the load. And because I cannot employ everybody, I cannot employ 2 videographers or 2 photographers here. You can't pay them. There's going to be a month that nothing is happening. So then if you have one from photography, one from video, then you're okay. In case you need more, you have about 2 shoots, then you can call freelance. But sometimes you are even scared to call freelance. One thing you have to do is that identify people who work for you as freelance who are very good. Now, when it comes to freelance payments, it's one thing, it's difficult to even determine. But this is what I use. I know people who have been experienced, they are very good. I know everybody's skill. So I know which shoot I will use you, right? Now, what I normally tell a lot of my freelance guys is that, okay, I promise to give you a gig every time. If you are good, I'll give you a gig every time. So if you are charging per shoot, let's say 1,000, or let's say you are charging 800 per shoot, okay, I'll give you 600. That's just a negotiation. With the promise that you will get once I have a shoot, I'll call you. You will always go to the shoot. So by the time you put all together, you will have enough, right? So the last time I was talking to somebody who I want him to edit my videos for me, I am telling him that this is negotiation. It's good that, okay, you are charging this amount. I want to pay you this amount so that you can constantly get the videos from me. If it's just a one-time thing, fine. I will agree to just pay whatever you are. But once I will constantly give it to you, that's fine. I remember one of my freelance told me that he is charging for photography 2,500, and that is without equipment. And I asked myself, this wedding you are going to shoot, how much did I charge? And if I pay you 2,500, just assuming that 4 of you are going and all of you want 2,500, then how will it be possible to pay all of you? Okay. So I tend to maintain a lot of my freelance just to give them constant gig, right? So some of my freelance, if you ask them, they always get gigs, especially those who are doing video live streaming. They always get to go with me. There's one person who is constant. He's always going with me. And sometimes when you are paying and you do the calculation, you'll be like, hey, this guy is taking a lot of money. It's not very huge, but because there is frequency. So there is a frequency in it, okay? So, and one other thing I look for is that I'll look for somebody who, if I want to send, have camera, okay? So if you have camera, the way you will not probably charge the actual amount for, please, the amount I'm mentioning, they are just samples I'm giving. But you can get somebody who will do a 600. I mean, if you have a freelance and you are providing equipment, you can still get You can get even less than that. You are providing equipment. So I look for people who are providing equipment. Remember, you are just going to shoot and then you leave. You don't bring equipment. So I look for people who have equipment. Unless I am doing a production that my equipment, all of them are not going to go out, then I'll tell you that, okay, don't bring equipment. You are going to use mine. Then we can make a decision on it. But once the equipment is going to be coming from you, I mean, it also make it okay so that I don't have to go and struggle to go and do a shoot. Okay. So that is it. 600 is a good money. just let me give you an explanation. I mentioned that I do my live streaming to camera is 3,500, and some people will insist to even pay 3,000. Just imagine live streaming to camera, you need 4 people to go. If you pay all the 4 600 cedis, that is how much? That is 2,400 without calculating your equipment and all of that. So just imagine 2 are with 70 to 200. That is also like 600, 2 cameras, your switcher and everything, or just your switcher, 4 this thing. So you do that calculation, you will not be able to make it. You finish and you will not be able. So these are some of the things people really don't understand. And sometimes when you tell people, oh, this is the amount that I charge, people will tell you that, oh, why don't you charge more than that? But it's not easy like that, though. It's not easy like that. Why don't you charge this amount? And these days, there are a lot of shoots. I mean, I can show you a lot of messages right now that I have that people send me back, or say, oh, Charlie, our budget is within this. We can't go with you. And I say, oh, thank you. As for this year, that's what I've been doing. I'll just say thank you if I think that it is not going to help me. You send people as you send invoice, they've seen the invoice, they've seen the details in the invoice. And don't even make mistake I heard somebody the last time that you should break down the prices. Don't even make mistake breaking down. You can say photography, this amount, photography, in the details you mentioned that it's a soft copy, blah, blah, blah. Don't ever make a mistake to itemize it. Video, you say one camera is this amount. Then you put one camera, you say you are using 2 cameras. So one camera is 600, 2 camera is this. Why am I mentioning 600? Then your data, you put data there. You put data there. Then what else? When you itemize it, what they will do is that they will tell you, oh, we'll give you data. I've seen it before. They will say they will give you data. They will do this for you. And then they'll say, oh, then one camera. And one thing about me is that I don't shoot one camera. If you come to me and you want me to do one camera, I'll tell you I don't shoot. So I'm not going to even charge you for one camera. I want to take your video, come back and relax, edit and know that I'm okay. So 2 cameras. That is where I start from. So if you itemize your things into details, you may be in trouble. There are some shoots like documentaries that I do that I itemize certain things, not into details, but I itemize. For example, if I want to license music, I will itemize. So some things, for them, you have to itemize some of these things, and they will pay for it. But, our Ghanaian clients, don't put too much details, like itemize everything and put a price there. So they will try and tell you that, as somebody said, they will try to provide some of the items, and they will end up negotiating more. The client will end up knowing the details of the invoices. It's a bad move. So don't do that. We will still come back. Let me just say this. One other thing I normally do is that I'm not quick in sending package for some shoots. For example, my wedding, I have package for it. So people ask for package. Studio shoots, I have package for it. But there are some particular ones. For example, if a corporate institution asks me to do live streaming and I look at the institutions, I'll write them an invoice. Okay? And the price may be different from one institution to the other. I don't normally compare institutions. I've done a shoot for US8 before and have taken 30K at a go. Just 2 hours live streaming. Okay? That I can't do for others. So I normally also don't. It's not every shoot that I will send an invoice. You have to pay attention to that. So what I'm trying to say is that paying salary is difficult, but you have to find ways and means to do it. Now, if you think you are not making enough money to be able to afford people to work in the office, this is my suggestion. Look for more freelance. Negotiate with them. Give them almost all your gig every time. Let them be part of your team. Use them throughout and give them a lot of. Before they know, they will have accumulated a lot of money. Okay, do that with your freelance. Then, if you want to do commission based, if the person bring the client and all of that, you can also do it some percentage. As I mentioned, when at the end of the month, your salary payment should be more than 30 to 40%, or else you just feel like you are working and you are not saving any money. So that is very important. Do your calculation, because you don't want to bring in somebody working at the end of the month, you will not pay salary. And for me, it is one of those who work with me, they will realize that I'm always worried if the month end and some few days are passing, I'm not paying. I am always worried. I want to get money to just clear it off. I've been somewhere where people are on 5 months. 5 months. And I went to this man, I told him, no, you don't do that. You didn't even come to explain to them. At the time, I was even doing a major, so I was having some money in the part of the business I was doing for him. And I was like, no, give people loan. They are humans, they need money. Okay? Sometimes to our freelance, sometimes you come back and realize there's rubbish the person have taken and you've already paid for it. Files were not recorded. The things you are saying, the camera is just like shaking. I gave camera to somebody one time when they brought the video. And I asked him, how did you get this video? He said he himself, he doesn't know. He's even surprised. It was a funeral. The camera was shaking, like moving like this. Hey, I'm in Ghana. I'm not the 3,500 I mentioned is not dollars. It's Ghana cedis, Ghanaian cedi. Hey, who will pay you that amount? Unless it's so. The camera was, and I couldn't even we couldn't get video to cut from it. And we asked, well, how did you get this video? He said he himself is surprised, like what he's saying right now, that I'm showing him. He knows he's the one who captured it, but he's even surprised himself. Hey, that funeral. Luckily for me, there was one other camera with one of the guys who was quite stable. So, yeah. And it was even a cutaway that we used to cover most of the things. This camera is even doing main camera. And I don't know, maybe his village people have done something. Because up to now, I don't actually have any explanation to it. That's the truth. I don't have any explanation. It was so serious. So sometimes we make mistake to pay people more than the business can sustain. I've had a lot of friends close down their business. If you cannot afford salary, shut down. If you cannot afford salary, just don't take a lot. Don't say shut down. Don't take a lot of people. Now, when I started my company, there is something I wanted to do, that is graphics. It's part of my business. I have not been able to fully implement it. I don't want to burden myself because graphic work comes with a lot of demand. You can do the design and this person will say, I don't like it, change this and all of that. So I decided not to add it. Surprisingly, Ghanaians, how much do they pay for graphic design? If you charge them 100 cedis, they are complaining. If you charge 200, they are complaining. But that same design they are complaining about, very simple design, I'll do it for a friend in the US. That friend will send me $100. That $100 in Ghana cedis is quite a lot of money. So I concentrate on that. I have friends I do design for Sweden, Germany, all of that. Like sometimes at the end of the year, they send me dollars, like just to thank me for the whole year. So I concentrate on that one. That brings me money. Website design. If you want to do serious website, you see a lot of people saying website is 500 cities. I sometimes ask myself, so is it that they are not doing SSL, they are not doing backup, they are not doing all this malware scan, and you have to pay for all of this. So is it that they are not doing all of this and they charge that amount? If you want to do serious one, and we see a lot of people who free website. So I also don't do a lot. I only do it for selected people because I don't want headache. And that we will talk about it later. That helped me a lot, bringing in a lot of business to me as a video person. So there are things, if you cannot sustain it, just let them go. If you cannot pay freelance for video and you think it's a problem, just let it go. Concentrate on your photography and do it. At least you sustain yourself. For example, if I want to concentrate on my photography, I can sustain myself. I don't need to have some other things. I don't have to spend on other things. You get it. So you can sustain yourself. You once in a while look for people to help you, and don't be greedy. Okay. So that is what you have to do. Sometimes do some allowance. Okay. Now, one thing, they will say that don't accept job cheaply. Once the job is cheap, you can't pay. So this year, what I have gone through in the past and all, I've decided that once the money is not good, I will not go for it. I mean, I will better rest, sleep, and all of that. As I mentioned, pay people respectfully and on time. It's very important. Communicate if there's going to be a delay. If there's going to be a delay, okay? Communicate. So that's very important. Now, I cannot tell you this is the amount you need to pay your video guys or your photographer. If that's what you're expecting, I mean, it all depends on what is coming to your company and what is going. That's why it's very important to do the calculation, do a budget. Use maybe last year to see how much have you been able to make. Some of us, we don't keep all those details. We don't have an invoicing application. I will come and talk about an invoice I use. That I know how much I've been able to make last year. And you know what it's going to do? There is a session that you can put your salary of your workers, freelance and everything. One day when I did it, I realized that if you employ people, pay them a certain amount for at least your basic shoot, you'll be better off. Or else by the time you finish the calculation, all the money is gone. But there are times too you can only use freelance. Make sure what I am doing this year is I've put all my freelance in a group so that they all know that if I call somebody, they will know that, yes, this person, I have called the person, and I will be doing training for them. I will explain to you. If you've made a mistake, I'll put it on the page, explain to you so that you can correct yourself, so that you shoot like how I want it. I have this photographer. He's called Kelly Wisdom. One thing I like about him is he's one of the good photographers out there. Those days, at a point, I met him at a wedding. And sometimes I send him to go and do a shoot for me. So I can send him alone. I'm never scared sending him alone. Without sending anybody from my office, I will send him alone and he will just bring me the file. One thing Kelly will ask me, how do you want me to do the shoot for you? That's a very important question. How do you want it? This is my style. How do you want yours to look like? That's very important. Ikechuku, sir, which invoice do you use? I use Build Account. It is made in Ghana. Okay. And one nice thing about it is that it's having a CRM, so SMS. I can send invoice through text, email. Initially, there was a WhatsApp option. Then they have an e-wallet. So I actually keep some of my monies over there. So sometimes if I send you a link, if I send you a link to do payment, it's probably going to that account and the money stay there for some time. I can use it to do any other thing. This question, how do you want it? It's very important. You have to ask. Money man. Another aspect, I have a lot to say on this. I hope one day you do a full session on that. What is the time? I have a few time. I can give you 5 minutes if you are ready. I can give you 5 minutes. Just quickly, you can share your experience with us. So you can make a request to join the live, and I will allow it. Unfortunately, those on YouTube may not hear you. If you are with a good internet, you can send me your email. I can let you join the YOLO boss. That is if your internet is very good. Let me accept here and see. So, Bonnie Man, can you hear me? I don't. Okay, sorry, I'm coming. I didn't connect my headset. Morning, man. Can you hear me? What's the full name? Okay, okay. I think I've been seeing you following me a lot. Okay, so welcome. So you can share your experience with us. Thank you. Okay, but do you know why I like funeral? No, I like funeral because of the storyline. No, I like it because of the storyline. It creates emotion, and if you're able to edit well, it tells a great story. So you can continue. Let me see if I can get a sound for those online. But you continue. I will explain to them. Okay. Death will surely come. Yeah. Okay. 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 Mm. Okay. Okay. Crap. Yeah. Yes, you will not last. Okay. On YouTube, sorry, I added somebody on TikTok, and it's possible you were not able to hear what he was saying, and I had to pause the stream. So a lot of you probably left by now. Next time, what I will do is that if I want to bring somebody, I will let the person probably send me an email, especially if I'm on YouTube, so that we can have the conversation on the YOLO board so everybody is able to get it. Or I'll make a plan to output the sound back into the device so that everybody can get it. So sorry for those who were on YouTube. Is there any question for me? Questions? Any questions for me? Let me see if there are. So the person who asked me the invoice I'm using, I think the person is from Nigeria. I used to use Zoho invoice. Zoho invoice is free. I even still have it. It's not like I used to. I think I still have Zoho invoice. Let me see if I have it here. Okay, so I use Zoho invoice to create invoice for. Yeah, so there's Zoho here. I use Zoho to create invoice. Let me see if I can write it over there. Title. Zoho. So just be joining my live. I will come and talk about all that I use. I will talk about all the applications I'm using. So this is the name. Zoho invoice. It's free. Okay. Now, if you are here and don't give invoice to your client, you will always forget if the person is owing you. Okay. I can show you receivables that I have a huge amount of money people are owing me. A lot of people is still in the system. And I will send them SMS. I always send them SMS to clear them. So if you don't do invoicing and you think you can use your brain, you will always forget how much people are owing you. Okay. So do invoice. It's very important. It makes you look very professional. I'm saying this again. Please try and do invoice. In one of the videos, I'll come and show you my contract for wedding. I asked a lawyer and the lawyer did it for me. Contract for wedding, which I normally send to my client. I will state every detail in it. If you don't, and I make sure that the client, both of them sign, they are aware of the details in it. I did a wedding one time. The groom asked me, "Oh, am I not coming the Sunday?" Because he paid for the Sunday. Only for me to go and ask the lady that I know what she has done. The lady actually picked a much cheaper package, but gave the man a higher one. And when I asked her, she's telling me that, she was having other things to do and the man was not giving the money. So she needed to do that. And I told her that I just covered it for her, but she will not see me at the church. So she should know what to tell the husband. I just didn't want to say it in front of the husband that, hey, you guys didn't pay me for Sunday. I just smile at him and say, see you tomorrow. Okay? So do contract. State all the things you are supposed to give them in it. My invoice, I normally put the receivables inside. I'll tell you if it's soft copy, soft copy. If there's going to be a photo book printed, I'll put it inside. Because a lot of clients can be funny. When the time comes for payment, that's what you know. This year, not this year, for almost so many years now, I take 100%. I've done wedding shoot for people, and even in my church, I'll be in the queue going for offering communion, and then we look at each other and we can't smile at each other. So I take 100%. One thing about event is that once the event is over, it is difficult to pay. It is difficult. Once the event is over, it is difficult to make payment. I know some of you may not be able to take 100%, but for me, I take 100%. Okay. Now, I posted a video on my TikTok this evening. In that video, I was talking about how some of you have been able to send me money to buy an item. I've recommended shops that you've gone to. And I'm asking, why are you able to do? Why do you just send me money? A lot of people on TikTok, they just send me money and I send the equipment. I've sent a lot of things to people in Takwa, Kumasi, Tamale. I'm always in, and there are people who even call me. I'll tell them that, oh, this equipment is not important. So if you are such people that have been able to help, leave your comment in the comment section for me. It's very important. I'm going to do a series of videos on it, episode on for businesses on how they can run their business. I'm going to talk about trust. I'm going to talk about integrity. I'm going to talk about credibility. I'll be talking about education. I have so many topics I will talk about. I will do about 6 series businesses can incorporate, and that can help them. Okay. If there is no question, please, hey, somebody is calling me Uncle Andy. Color Sprite photography. If you call me Uncle Andy, it's just like, okay, I will not say anything. With the Evoto, can it be used offline? I don't think you can use it offline. AI uses it must be, it's a server is using, so it must be by internet. So you must use the internet. So I don't think you can use it offline. One nice thing that, if, for example, if I export a picture and that same picture I export it the second time, they will not take any credit. And they will identify that picture and know that, oh, you've exported this picture already. So if you can export it so many times, and they will not take any payment. Let me see if there's another question. If there's no question again, but try and go and reply to the video in the comment section. Nick, are you still here? Nick, are you the one who is at Adenta? You were supposed to come back. Oh, that day I left the office, so you were supposed to come back and see me. The messages in my DM about some people want to be intense, some want me to train. It's not easy. I've seen a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of you begging. It's just from experience that sometimes I just want to stay right now. I just want to have my own people I employ who are very good. If they are not doing well, I let them go. And then I've trained a lot of people, but sometimes it's a whole lot. You just finish and any questions? I'm planning to do content, especially for businesses, how they can come up with content planner, the tools they need, and how they can create their short form videos. I will bring out that poster very soon. It should be in April. Then in May or June, I want to do Church Media Masterclass in Kumasi. So you guys should be praying for me. It's not easy. It's some of this program. One of the things I normally consider is how much people are supposed to pay. And sometimes I feel like it should be free. But if the help is not coming, it cannot be free. When we did Ghana Media Tech Expo, yes, people pay for stand. We have few of them. And then how much were people paying? I think 100 or 200. Even that, it wasn't easy for me. A lot of my money have gone into that program. Okay, so I'm praying we get sponsorship for some of these things. Okay, so there's no question for me today. There's no question. If you want to join the live and ask a question, you can. So, what's your live stream schedule like? So, for church media, I'm doing every Sunday at 7 p.m. And for the creative session is Mondays, every Monday, 7 p.m. So this, for this, let me see if I have if they've sent me the. So join me every Monday, 7 p.m. For creatives. So you can be a content creator, photographer, video. Then on Sunday, you join me for church media. Okay. Thank you very much for joining the live today. Today we try to look at salary payment, or we also try to look at freelance or commission based. And I hope you've learned a lot. If you are freelance, just try to be reasonable, especially if you have somebody who will be constantly using you. Try to give them a good rate. And also, when you go for their shoot, know that the shoot is not your shoot. Relate with the client as if it's their client. And don't go and take the shoot like it's your shoot. Don't go and talk bad of the person who have given you the opportunity. Okay? If you are a business, this is what I want to say. If you are a business here, you know that it's not easy to run this business. It's not. Even paying somebody 1,000 Ghana cedis at the end of the month, it's not easy. Okay? Paying somebody 1,000 Ghana a month is not easy. Just do your assessment and see. Do you need extra team? Do you need extra person to help you? And be fair. Okay? If you're also an employee here, sometimes don't take the law into your own hands. Go back for renegotiating. Renegotiate. Sometimes the truth is that we know what is happening. We know that things probably are not even going on with our bosses. But we will still want to demand that they pay us. Sometimes we know. You do the calculation, you know that no. You know how many shoots you've done this month. It's encouraging. So let's also have pity on our bosses when it's not going well. And those of us who are also employees, if you think you need a raise, just have a conversation and state the reason why you need a raise. Okay. Please, my last point to all of us, try and build on your portfolio. Try and build. I mean, when you want to apply for a job, when they ask you for portfolio, try and give your best. Once I receive your portfolio, I will take it to be your best. So try and work on it, improve on it. Okay. Give the best. And that's what a lot of us will be looking at. Somebody like me, I do these things. So if you are giving me something that doesn't meet my standard, I may not be able to. Okay. Those of you who have been asking to do internship with me, or I think somebody also sent a message to follow me on a shoot and all of that, you can get in touch with me later. I will see what I can do for you. If I'll be able to help in a way. It's just that these days I don't want to actually accommodate some of these requests because it sometimes create a lot of friction. Okay. But we'll see. I'll have a discussion about that and how to go about it. So see you Sunday or Monday. Mr. Labi, please, I posted a video to talk about how you'll be able to send me money before you receive item, how you trust that I was going to give you the item. So the video I just posted, the last video, go and leave your comment under it for me. and let me know why you send me money before. Hey, please, I beg, go brief about a good portfolio before we go. Colors Pride photography. I think let me do a different session on it. So next week Monday, I'll take your point and then I will do a whole session on it for you. Okay? I'll do a whole session. In that one, I will show you some proposals I have worked on and how I presented it. Okay? Thank you all. I talk show. Join me next week. The question you guys are asking, I will do a full session on it and I'll show you some samples. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.